Welcome to 98.5 WJHI LP Jeffersonville, your home of the Red Devil Network. Blake Beams, Jake Curry, you're tuned into another episode of the Take the Heat podcast. Got a good one here today, and I just want to hop right into it, Jake. The Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes, sir.
They are out of the playoffs, and I am ready to say that I believe this getting two duo, trio, superstars. I'm not even going to call them. They're not a super team. They're nowhere near a super team. But I'm talking about this era of just grabbing two players and just shoving them together and hoping it works. And I think it's over.
It really. I mean, this whole experiment just shows you that you can't buy a championship team.
That's for sure.
You really can't. You have to develop just like Miami has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got Jimmy, but I mean, other than that. But, I mean, you just have to have – and you can't have a top-heavy team and then have no bench.
Yep.
That's what hurt. That's what really hurt Philly in the long run because after Maxey, it just drops off after that from him to Thibault and then –
who can't do offense at all.
Shake Milton, and then it's just nobody else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for them to compete in the next few years, they really need to just deepen how deep their bench is.
I don't think they are. I'm not saying the process is over because I think Joel Embiid
process has been over.
Been over.
It's over. It was over last year. That the process is.
Are you thinking the process broke when like Tobias and Jimmy all left? Well, Tobias is still there, unfortunately.
I mean, I feel like the process broke when we had all that whole drama with Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
And you realize that this team isn't what they're cracked up to be. So
yeah, I guess now that you say that, I forgot that this was a homegrown team for
exactly.
a little bit.
That's when I realized that the process has been over and that Philly's just gonna be how they are.
Yeah, like Matisse, Joel, Ben Simmons. That was a core.
Exactly.
That was a legit core, and that's over. I didn't even
been over. That's what I'm saying.
And Embiid's only got 1 year left on his deal.
That's crazy.
Like
I want to see. I really want to see. That's why the Philly needs to get it together this offseason because if you don't get to at least the conference finals next year, Embiid's probably gone.
Probably he is gone. No, yeah.
I mean,
there's no reason he should stay. It's ridiculous. They're not. It's
who could they possibly bring in though? That's the thing. They need to deepen the point guard position.
No, they just got to reconstruct the roster. I'm not saying rebuild. I'm saying retool. I'm saying get Harden out of there.
That's one of the questions that they have to answer.
Yeah.
Very soon because do you bring him back? Because Harden is nowhere near
what he was
MVP form whatsoever.
But James Harden's still a great player.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He didn't play great. He played awful this series. Terrible. But I still think James Harden's a quality.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm. And Daryl Morey, he has a crazy infatuation with James Harden.
Well, they're buddies.
That's what I'm saying.
They've been together
since
guys.
They've been together since Houston.
Yeah.
So I mean, he wore a shirt with his face on it to a press conference. So to say that he won't re-sign Harden is a stretch, just because of how much he's in love with the man. So if I had to predict what would happen, I'd say they would re-sign him, not to the max contract people are speculating right now, but I think they'll at least give him maybe a 2-3 year deal just to keep him in Philly for another few years.
The thing is with me, you got to realize James Harden is what, he's 33, 34?
Yeah.
If you sign this guy to a 2-year, 3-year deal, you know what you're kind of speculating, he's locked up till 2025, 2026. That's a 37-year-old James Harden who's already on the decline. Imagine what he's going to be then.
Now that you say that, though, look at players like P.J. Tucker, who's 37 and still balling like crazy. But if you're Harden, you're not leading a team any time in your career.
But you're not accepting you're not leading a team either.
That's true.
That's what Harden. That's not just Harden. That's just superstars in the NBA in general. You will always have that mindset of I'm the best player on the court no matter the time. I am the guy to lead this team no matter the time. You know what I mean? That's what Harden did. That's not what PJ Tucker was.
Yeah,
PJ Tucker bounced out of the league for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always such a difference. Then you got people like LeBron, who's top 2 player to ever live.
Yeah.
But then you got people like P.J. Tucker who've always known their role, so they've been able to play forever.
Yeah.
And you got people who's James Harden. Guess who else in this category? It's Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
They always thought they were the guy, and they were the guy. But it's not their time anymore, but that's what they still think they are. Stephon Marbury did it too.
Oh, that dude was crazy.
Yeah. And then he couldn't accept that he wasn't the guy anymore. Allen Iverson.
I feel like that's really what hurt James Harden this season, was thinking he was the go-to guy until he hit this Miami series. He wouldn't even take a shot in the clutch.
Yeah, he only took 2 shots in the second half.
That's what I'm saying. When you're down by 10-12 and you still don't get the ball or touch the ball or at least attempt to take a shot, what's that tell you? It really doesn't make sense to me because he had 11 in the first half in game 6, and then had none in the second
Harden
half.
11 in the first half, and
And
yeah,
then
that
none
sounds
in the
about,
second half.
sounds about right.
So
He only took 2 shots. Like I
that's
said,
what
we
I'm
already
saying.
kind of
I
went
don't-
through that. Yeah.
I really understand how you expect to get paid. He expects to get a max contract. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
because like I said, he thinks he's a superstar still.
I don't know how you expect to have that stat line and get paid that much.
So I'm trying to find him on the box score. I can't. I'm just glancing over him. Yeah, he had 11 points total. He shot 4 for 9, and so he got attempted 2 field goals second half, didn't attempt
That's
any.
ridiculous.
I mean, didn't make any. What? That is ridiculous. And he
That's
took
crazy.
9 of his field goals. 7 of them were threes.
That's
the most James
typical
Harden
James
stat line of all
typical James
time.
Harden. There was a stat I saw the other day. It said from 2013 to 2020, he took 750 step back threes.
750
in that 6-7 year span. He took that many step back threes. Not even just regular threes.
Yeah,
step back threes.
Well, that was always his move.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
But
an average of like 1.8 a game.
it's always been a travel too, which is crazy.
I
I mean, when
I
you
don't know.
look, when you dribble and
Yeah.
take 2 steps and then take 2 more steps, that's a travel.
Yeah, I'm not against the Harden travel thing,
Yeah.
but I feel like he adopted the move so
Yeah.
well that you kind of
Everybody
got
just
to bend
got
the
used to
rules.
it. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying bend the rules to make it like
I mean,
legal.
I feel like everybody just got used to it at a point.
yeah,
To a point.
Yeah, I can even see what you're talking about there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that move, it was always like dangerous for Harden, and I think he can still do it. You know, he
Oh,
just
yeah,
can't
for sure.
utilize it as he was.
Yeah.
And it feels like this pod is taking like a monotone like tone because it feels like we're at like James Harden's like
The decline.
not like the decline. We're checking him into like the assisted living facility. You know what I mean?
Now-
We're getting him ready for his Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah, but the one question that Philly really has to answer: will Doc, Joel, and James Harden will all 3 of them be back next year?
No.
I feel like Doc's gone.
Yep. I agree.
Doc's been fired. He doesn't think he's on the hot seat,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me. But he's gone. Embiid's got 1 more year. He's back. James Harden, that's still a toss up as of right now.
Yep.
So, I mean, what do you do if you're Philly? Do you fire Doc? Do you give him 1 more shot at this? Just because this
no.
is because of what he came into wasn't. I mean,
No, it was not a good situation.
it wasn't
in
a
the
great
slightest.
situation at all.
No, because the Ben
So,
Simmons thing was going
that's-
on.
Exactly.
And all the injuries. Doc came in as soon as the mental health stuff started coming
Yeah,
up with
exactly.
Ben Simmons.
So, I mean, he really didn't adopt the best situation. So, I mean, that's why you got to really think, do you give him 1 more shot? Do you fire him and then bring in somebody like Jay Wright, who I've heard a bunch of rumors about?
I've heard D'Antoni.
Yeah. Ooh,
D'Antoni's been huge.
That would
with
make
them.
sense. See, that
Harden
if they
again.
bring in D'Antoni, you got to keep Harden.
You think?
That would make sense.
I get the relationship.
Wait, did they
Yeah.
have beef at the end of that Houston tenure? Or no?
I mean, yeah, but all coaches and
That's
stars
true.
do. Yeah, that's just natural.
So,
You know what
I mean, if you bring in D'Antoni, that'll make Harden happy. If you bring in Jay Wright, that gives you a proven coach.
yeah.
So-
Ooh, college proven.
I feel like he would do great.
I
in the NBA.
agree,
I don't
but
think it would be one
I
of those
never-
things. I don't think it would be one of those things like Rick Pitino or Cal
Yeah.
going to the NBA.
So
and
I will
just
never
bomb.
guarantee a college
But-
coach is going to be good. In
Yeah,
the NBA.
I feel like he could be a solid coach.
No, I agree with you. Like I
Yeah.
said, I like Jay Wright. He's one of my favorite
Oh, yeah, for
coaches
sure.
in all of college basketball, really. And, it's just the Sixers team. You addressed it. You said, do you keep Embiid, Harden, Rivers? No, Doc is gone. You cannot
sure.
keep Doc.
Yeah.
You try, and this is the time for Philly fans, for Philly, everybody, because, Philly's always had a reputation of driving their players away, kind of, because their fans are so, they're so
Fans
passionate.
are relentless.
Yes, and this isn't like being, a jerk about it. You guys are...
I mean, they booed.
I
the
wouldn't
team
wanna
with-
be there.
They booed the team with 8 minutes left in the fourth
Yeah.
quarter, and they were only down by 14.
Yeah,
which
and
is
granted, they
crazy.
weren't playing good, and I believe fans, should have that right to just boo,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you want. But, dude, there's a reason they're all gone.
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons, yeah, he played terrible that series, but, I mean, I guess he did kind of deserve it. I was going to go on like a rant like Ben Simmons didn't deserve this and that, but he played bad.
Now, another
bad then, all
problem that they have, I mean, the front office has made some awful decisions in the past couple years. Signing Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler.
Oh my.
Which-
Did you hear the thing post conference?
Which one?
Post game, Jimmy, he
was walking back in the
he
locker
used
room?
some words that we cannot.
Yeah, I seen that.
And
When he was
he,
walking back in the locker
yeah.
room. Yeah, it really doesn't make sense why you take Tobias over Jimmy in the first place.
I mean, they
which-
just thought it's what fit better.
But
That's-
it didn't.
that's
That's the
simple.
crazy part. It didn't. Not
don't
even.
think?
No.
I
not
feel
at
like
all.
Jimmy was too alpha.
And
that's why this Heat team's so
That's
good.
what they need right now, though. Because when you have
I
something,
think Embiid is that guy.
But when Embiid's out, I mean, you saw how that played out for him in game 1 and 2.
Yeah.
They had nobody.
Yeah, but
they
then they're
went
clashing.
they went to Tyrese Maxey, and then after Maxey, you had nobody but what? Shake Milton. I mean, you had nobody at the big position. You had DeAndre Jordan, who was awful.
There's another Doc thing. Doc refuses to
Wouldn't
not
take him
play
out.
DeAndre.
Exactly, which makes zero sense to me.
He's ridiculously stubborn. I think Doc Rivers is one of my favorite coaches ever. I never watched the team. I was like 2 years old.
Yeah.
You know that 07-08 Celtics team, the championship team?
I think so. Yeah.
That was Doc Rivers' team. I think Doc Rivers is a good coach. I liked those Clippers teams he coached all those years. But there's got to be a point where you draw the line and you say, this isn't working, we got to move on. He can't do that.
Exactly.
So he's the one that's got to go.
Right, exactly.
It's simple.
Doc's just like an average NBA player. You have to.
He was an NBA player.
That's what I'm saying. You have to find for him. It has to be a perfect situation.
Yeah.
Because if you bring him into a situation as bad as this was, he's not going to do anything for you.
That's right.
Because I mean, if you give him a situation, I wouldn't say the Lakers because that's an awful situation as it is right now. But put him on a team like a stable team like the Mavericks. I mean, the coaching job is not open right now, but I'm just using an example.
Yeah, I get it.
But put that on a team like that. Put him on a team like Phoenix. I mean, that's a championship team as it is. So I mean, for Doc, it's just he got to find the right situation, right fit.
So you think Doc can be another championship coach?
Yeah, he can for sure.
Okay.
I mean, he almost did it in L.A.
Yeah.
with the Clippers. So I mean, I don't think
That Patrick Beverly, the mantra is Harold Lou Williams.
I don't
off the
now.
bench.
I feel like he might take if LA offers him that job, he'll take that Lakers job. Which
think?
I don't think that would
Honestly,
be.
I
That would be a
wouldn't. No
terrible.
way.
That would be a terrible fit.
That's if I'm a coach, the farthest I'm staying away is Los Angeles.
I don't see.
I'm not going
I don't
to
see him and
Philadelphia or Los
LeBron
Angeles.
meshing.
Oh, I wouldn't. work.
I
don't know.
feel like they'll butt heads too much
Yeah, I feel like it would be so.
because LeBron likes to
Fair.
take control.
Oh yeah,
and
for
Doc
sure.
won't let that happen.
Yeah, you're right.
So I really don't think that would work.
No.
So for Philly, what you got to do? Coaching change, bring in some deeper players. I heard Zach LaVine like in a signing
happening.
trade.
Not
so
happening.
that
Bulls would
that
never
could
do
be.
that.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know who else really. Who guard position? I mean, Thibel's gone. DeAndre Jordan's gone free agency.
I think Tybal stays. 'Cause I don't think he's getting any more
I don't
money
know.
anywhere else.
I mean, I don't. He didn't do much in
He got a
Philly.
team option too.
So yeah.
Yeah, pick up the team.
So I mean, there's really a whole lot of stuff that they need to fix. If they want to contend for a title, you got to fix some stuff.
I'm not even gonna fix. I'm just gonna keep number one priority. It's their second place MVP. Congrats to Jokic, by the way. But second place MVP, Joel Embiid's got to be your priority.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. It has to be.
Well,
Now,
Got any-
another more free agent like options at the guard position. You got Colin Sexton, solid.
Yeah.
You got Oladipo, who's probably not going to get signed by Miami again.
Yeah, he played iffy last night.
I mean,
he had a good series, but he played bad.
It
last night.
depends. We might use him in a trade for Donovan Mitchell. Maybe I feel like.
Good luck.
I've been seeing a whole bunch of stuff on the Donovan Mitchell trade, so I feel like we could use him. Dennis Schroeder was one I like. I would think would be a perfect fit for.
I'm
Philly.
out on Schroeder.
Really?
I'm not a Schroeder guy.
Really?
No, I used to like him on Atlanta.
He was nice
I
in
was
Atlanta.
out on him. I'm
He was
out on
nice
him
in
now.
Atlanta. I mean, he was solid in Boston too, but for the year he played there.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he shouldn't have left LA. That was a great fit for him. For Schroeder, he was pretty solid. In
I don't know if anybody
he won
wants
a
to stay
title
in
with
LA.
him, so I mean, yeah, nobody wants
It's
to play
such
with
a
LeBron.
bad show.
Nobody wants to play with LeBron.
Yeah. I'm not even saying that. I would love to play LeBron James. I'm just talking in
wouldn't.
general.
I don't
I'd say the franchise. I just don't get it.
Yeah, the franchise is run very strangely. It's odd to me.
Yeah,
But
so-
I do have one special shout out.
Oh, let's hear it. Oh boy, I know where this is.
To Mr. JJ Redick. First of all, this series should teach you not to backtrack on your picks that you make before the series. You picked Miami before game 1. After game 3, you changed your pick to Philly, saying that we couldn't, just because of Joel Embiid and how he bullied us in game 3, you didn't think we could compete with him.
Right.
But what happened?
You
We
competed with
won
him.
in 6 games.
Yep.
So that should teach him not to backtrack on his picks. Also, to all the Philly fans out there, I'm sorry.
No, we're not.
Sorry it had to happen
no,
to
we're
you.
not.
But, I mean, y'all, you got to be used to it by now.
Oh yeah, it's
Just
over.
the pain and suffering of all Philly fans in every sport just has
Yeah,
to be.
I saw some right before we go. I saw something. It said, like on the Philly sports subreddit, it said, "Well, at least the Sixers are starting soon. Well, at least the Flyers are starting soon. Well, at least the Eagles are starting soon. Well, at least the Phillies are starting." Yeah, that's gold.
And
I feel so bad
to
for
Stephen
Philly.
A. Smith and Charles Barkley, I appreciate y'all for believing in the team. And to everybody that thought we'd be in Cancun with LeBron by now, we here.
You got your Heat shout out.
I had to.
He got his
I had to
Heat
get that
shout
in.
out. He took
I
down
had to get that
JJ
in.
all in one sentence.
I had to.
And now we got to go. And Jake, I feel like that was a good episode. I love ranting on teams,
Oh, yeah.
but Philly in general just
sure.
feels special.
Look-
I know some Philly fans watching this. I hope you guys are seeing this.
Philly slander is always fun.
Always.
Always.
What a way to end it. I love ending on negativity.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for joining. Once again, Blake Beams, Jake Curry. You've been listening to Take the Heat Podcast. Follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
Take the Heat Podcast on there. Blake Beams 17, Jake Curry .34.
Yes, sir.
If I remember correctly. Thanks for joining. It's going to be up on YouTube soon. And everybody here, have a nice day.